Hello and welcome back to Fairly Odd Parents Breaking the Rules. This is BioEnchanted and today we'll be starting the Vicky virus.
Hey, Shred!
One of the more interesting levels in the game.
Dark-eyed friends are here. My friends must be Chester and AJ. We're too busy regaining our powers to play with your friends. We have to find rules, Timmy.
Our Jorgen von Strangle will live up to his name, and I hate being Jorgen. Hey, Timmy, wanna play games?
It's a beautiful day outside, so it's our duty as kids to stay in front of the TV. I don't know, guys. Will you crap keep it down? Ugh, that's better. I wish you parasites would just go live in that stupid video game. Then you wouldn't bug me all the time. Uh-oh.
So this level's relatively interesting.
I wonder where AJ and Chester are. Entering level, Monkeys of Doom.
Who was that?
That was the game, I think. Maybe she and I can have a chat. Excuse me, virtual voice lady?
She's not very user-friendly.
I can be friendly.
Now, why do I doubt that?
I can be friendly when I want. Cosmo, honey, stop taunting the virtual reality. We have work to do.
Okay, so first thing you'll probably notice is the sound effect for jumping in this level is atrociously bad.
Because video games are wild.
It's just squeaking for no reason. It's like a really weird sound effect. But also the monkeys in this level are perhaps the most dangerous enemies in the game because they have a very aggressive homing, not really homing, but they have a very aggressive projectile attack. I mean, so do you, yours bounces all over the place, but theirs is pretty dangerous too. So it's very easy to accidentally get caught out, given how, especially how many monkeys there are in this part of the game. It's a very enemy-packed level. It's also, surprisingly, I've got some of the more, I struggle to say intricate because it's still kind of dull, but some of the more platforming in the game. I'll leave it at that for now. Of course, we need to actually spawn the platforms, so let's do that, shall we? Once I've just checked nothing's missing here. So I want to grab as many of these as possible for this level, because I want many lives for this level. It's not that difficult, but a few mildly annoying moments. But it's also got the most variety of most of the levels in the game. Both visual and actual gameplay variety, so it's got that going for it. So let's do this really precarious platforming on these Tetris blocks. Yeah, I forgot to double jump, that was my bad. Luckily there are so many stars in this level, we end up with a bunch of lives by the end of it anyway. And a very intricate, a very basic Crimson Chain card is just right there. I don't know why I'm bringing with the intricate there, that's completely the wrong word to use. Let's take care of a few of these monkeys from afar, because there's so many of them here, there's 4. When you started the level, why 4 now? There we go. Of course, we all know the 4 directional animals, don't we? The black monkey, the azure monkey. I've forgotten what the other 2 colours are for the Chinese animals, so that's kind of ruined that joke there, that's a shame. Oh well. We've already got one of those lives back.
It sure is warm in here, and unsafe.
That would be the lava, hun. Timmy, it would be best to stay out of the lava.
A lava bath might be refreshing. How do you know till you try?
I think I'll follow my instinct on this one, hon.
One thing I kind of like with this level is the filter with the whole CRT looking thing. I kind of like the idea of that. It's, it at least gives it some kind of identity. Like, it feels like a little aspect of some kind of polish went into at least that part of the level. Even if the sound effect is really annoying when trying to be video gamey. It's like, you don't really need an extra video gamey sound effect. The double jump sound effects are already plenty video gamey because this is a video game. You don't need to enhance the unreality of it. But they tried and it made the level worse, and that's a shame. Because otherwise it's not a bad level overall. Although it has some moments that are fairly boring, but we'll see those later on. No, you... You can't do that. You can't do a cliche, then go, oh, how cliche. Better games than you have tried that. And yeah, as you can see, some parts of this platforming are collapsing to make little like gaps and stuff like that, but it doesn't really come up much. I mean, the level's trying something, it's just not trying very hard at it. But at least the fact that it's trying something gives it more of an edge over the other levels. I kind of like the Greco-Roman architecture with the whole, like, well, the Greek I don't know why I say Greco-Roman, the Greek architectural style of the whole columns and everything like that, and the little arches and things, like little temples on the sides. That gives it a little bit of a personality, at least. Even if that monkey just sniped me from that ledge over there, which is very rude. But yeah, that can be one of the dangerous parts of this particular level, is sometimes the monkeys can be a little bit kind of, they see you before you see them. And the real reason it is a monkeys is because monkeys are wacky. I'm just confirming a few things, because at this point in the level there's always one thing I've missed at the beginning of the level. So I'm a little bit like making sure I haven't done it this time. I didn't. I'm just unsure because of the way they kind of... The stars are very weirdly placed. Because this level has like 3 sections to it, but the stars are kind of like, there's only 2 sets of stars, so they kind of spread out weirdly between the sections. So while we're about to leave this room, that doesn't mean we have actually found all the stars here. Even if we haven't got 5 yet. It's a very strange pacing. So yeah, that kind of made me wonder, like, nah, maybe it is ahead, and it was.
You'll have to pop inflatable targets of ninja bunnies. Why don't you try using that pointy thing on your head?
Okay.
That should do it, dear. Yeah, pop the bunnies for prizes, or just work out some stress.
Time for the most basic game of whack-a-mole known to man. Such basic bunnies. I don't even know if there's like a threshold or whether you can even lose this minigame. Because there's a minigame later on in this level as well that I messed up a little bit and it didn't matter at all. Like, I'd never messed it up before and I expected to lose it because I messed it up a little bit, but like, I didn't. And it just kind of threw me off a little bit, but like, we'll see that when we see it. For now, let's just deal with this really easy minigame. Kinda like the music though. But yeah, this level is simultaneously one of the more intricate, but also one of the easier ones because it has a lot of opportunities to get more lives. But that's because it knows it has some of the more intricate stuff it asks you to do at times. Again, still nowhere near the second game's level of intricacy or like actual design, but it's something. This game has something going for it, like extra lives and a bunch of little stars to pick up for another extra life, pretty much, almost. So now we're on the run up to the most boring part of the game, of this level at least. But let's get this star on the way there first. I kind of like this shift in atmosphere though, with the whole like igloo style corridors and stuff. The fact that we're clearly in some kind of freezer here. I like little snowfall things as well, that's kind of cute visually.
No wonder I got 5 stars. I can make a wish. You have reached the next level. Battlestar Antarctica. Cool. We've got this game licked. You so do not.
Oh, yes, we do. And we haven't used any cheats.
Why your friends remain unrescued?
She does have a point there.
No problem. Chester and AJ must be around here someplace.
We have to get across the water, Timmy.
I know. And that's why I choose wish for...
Oh, a snowmobile. A team of husky dogs. Secret mutant snow powers.
a snowplow.
Well done, Timmy. A sensible wish. Sensible? I didn't get where I am today by being sensible.
This is a fairly boring puzzle. You just push ice blocks and it takes a bit. So I've got a small treat for you. A little bit of nostalgia to tide us by. V-I-C-K-Y. The sound of her name makes the little kids cry. Hey Vicky, you're so icky. Just the thought of being around you makes me so sicky. Hey Vicky, won't you please explain why you get so much enjoyment out of causing kids pain? Just plain mean. A sour sweet 16. She's a fire-breathing dragon in a pair of black jeans. Hey Vicky, won't you tell us true how we'd ever get the bad luck to be stuck with you? Oh Vicky, can we say one thing? It's your super total yuckiness that makes us wanna sing. Ooh, ooh. Icky Vicky. Ooh, ooh. Icky Vicky. That didn't take nearly as long as I hoped it would, but at least I hope that did a little something while we've built this first really long bridge. It's a really long bridge, a series of bridges, and I'm just glad it's only this one room. It's a really dull room. I just want something to fill the time with. I'm trying to spice it up a little bit in post, but we'll see. Yeah, we don't need to do that. Just get across the bridge. It's a very self-explanatory, I hesitate to call it a puzzle. It's just annoying that you can't get out the thing and jump it when you actually have enough distance on the blocks. That would have really improved this puzzle if you could just leave Cosmo Wonder temporarily to just do a jump. And then maybe use the R button to summon them on your side of the bridge, make something happen with the gameplay thing there, make that an actual gameplay thing. Press R to summon Cosmo Wonder, get use out of that. But let's just finish getting this star, shall we? And then move on to something more interesting. I kind of like that line with the inch of information thing. It's weirdly poignant for Cosmo. I'm not sure if he's quoting something. I suspect he may be, but it's a surprisingly poignant line, so I don't mind it. I always like when Cosmo gets, like, a moment of brilliance. Like, with that kind of stupidity kind of based character, it's always more fun when they get a little bit of, like, insight into the world that's generally insightful and not just, like, them being dumb for a bit.
This is a really cool game, but I'm a bit stuck at the moment.
I'll get you out, AJ. There must be a button or something nearby.
This is interesting. Let's enjoy this. First of all, a very missable Crimson Chain card.
I got another crimson chain.
Oh, not that missable.
Whoa, this game is filled with traps and surprises.
I mean, it does get blocked off there, but it gets unblocked, and from AJ's point of view, you can actually see the card from there, so it's kind of a good little bit of design of going, hey, whoa, no, there's a card there, damn it, yeah. There's a little bit of, like, the game's doing work there a little bit. And also, I kind of like the fact that you control AJ in this section as well. That's at least...
Whoa, a hovercraft. This is awesome. I'll bet I'll have to do a challenge to free Timmy.
Pass through the green gate to complete the challenge.
Ha! I was right. Let's go.
So yeah, like, it's an interesting idea to have his friends actually teaming up with him in this level because they're actually here and playing the video game too. A lot of video games we just rendered them being NPCs, so I kind of like that you actually play as the characters here, and they actually have a part to play in escaping the game themselves, as opposed to just kind of sitting there and being rescued by Timmy. This is like... it's floaty, so it requires a little skill to be able to get through the gates in time, otherwise there's a good chance you might fail here. It's a reasonably interesting idea, it's just kind of, the controls are just kind of, it's not intricate enough given like what the rest of the game's like generally, so it's just kind of more, like, more shallow mechanics basically just thrown in there. But it's at least more of an interesting shallow mechanic than most of them, so I'll give it that. It's at least you're doing something. Even the staircase has a little bit of design to it if you look at the weird like holes everywhere in it and stuff like that, because it's like climbing the staircase is a very basic puzzle, but it's also kind of trying to be a puzzle. It's like, hey, let's see if you can figure out how to ascend all of these weirdly broken up stairs. because a lot of these jumps are just too high for you to make. For example, this little bit here where we have to jump diagonally from this top step to the other higher step. I mean, that's very vaguely interesting. This is an interesting jump compared to every other jump in the game.
I have to free Timmy.
And it doesn't really matter the lack of spatial sense this level makes, because it's canonically in a video game, and potentially an arcadey kind of one as well by the look of it, so it doesn't need to be, you know, realistic in the way it's laid out, because it's an arcadey kind of an idea. So this level simplicity actually works for it because of that, despite also making it a little dull at times. Like with the snowplow. Yeah, that's what I'm doing. Thank you, mysterious voice in the sky. Don't need to do my job for me, game. Otherwise, why am I even here? Those monkeys weren't there before, so let's take care of them and make them not there anymore. There we go.
But not fast enough. 4 stars are enough for a small constellation, but not for a wish.
I kind of like some of those lines. There were better lines in the sequel, but I like some of the ones in this. I was worried the game had broken, but it hadn't.
Watch out for the... Oh, ouch. Cyber bees.
Ugh! Stuck to the wall with pixel plasma! Gross! Don't worry, guys. I'll defeat the bees. Okay, let's see. This left-hand lever rotates me left and right, and I press the action button to shoot pixel plasma right back at him.
Oh hey, he's a little bit of a turret defense thing. That's vaguely fun. Turret defense, wrong genre, you know what I mean. It's kind of a Arkanoids, I think, kind of a thing. It's like a general base defense thing, just shoot the bees and try not to let them get to the end of the thing, but it doesn't really seem to matter if a few of them get through. Because a few of them in this one do get through, and the game is like, okay, you win. Good enough, like this. Because it kind of gets you a bit stuck at times as well if you get too close to the bees, which is a little annoying, and the fact that the bees move in a left and right formation makes them a little annoying to hit, until they get really close. You can see a few bees have got through, and it just doesn't seem to really matter, because we're still going to succeed. But we're playing as AJ now, so, you know. Chester, I mean. Chester McBadbad.
1 for the good guys. And score 2 for the bad guys. That's not fair! Your complaint has been noted.
I'll bet she's holding them hostage in her evil cyber penthouse of exactitude. Wow, sweetie! Big words! You must be an idiot savant! You're half right.
Let's go! We've got a mainframe in need of a serious virtual spanking!
So let's move on, shall we? I mean, it's vaguely interesting getting to play as Timmy's friends, even if not much comes of it. And here's the final stretch of this part of the level. Which is also the final stretch of the level before the boss, I believe. Which is also, like, this level has one of the better bosses in the game.
It's raining data! These bombs are made of information! Ugh, I hate that stuff!
So let's dodge some balls while going for a slope. A very time-modded video game tradition. Let's do it right now. We can just jump up the inside, really. It's a very easy section. You don't really need to dodge anything, because they're small enough balls you can just jump over them. So just stay by the rail and just hop. Don't even bother with the stars. You get up, like, I've got 8 lives, doesn't really matter, I forget. If we miss a few stars here now. Because we're now basically done with the level. It's got a small thing to do left.
Okay, here's the wish.
I love it when he gets that look in his eyes! The intelligent look? No! The dangerous one!
I wish for a way to crash this system.
See what I mean? Okay, cutie, your wish is granted! When you attack, you'll fire data-eating discs of doom! They love video games! Video games are the candy of the data world! natural enemy of the guinea pig. I'm not sure about that, hun. But I think we can break through with Timmy's disc launcher. Attack the force field, Timmy!
So let's do so, shall we? Bit underwhelming, but fine.
This is an ominous walkway. Don't be scared. We know exactly what's ahead. We do? Oh, that's a relief. We're in a video game. It's gonna be a huge lethal boss.
Kind of like that little moment as well where you actually get to walk while the cutscene's still technically ongoing. It's like it adds a little cinematicness to this boss fight. A little bit. Well, let's just enjoy a little bit of something while we have it.
This must be the CPU. Look at all this data.
It hurts my eyes. Watch out, Timmy. It's the central mainframe.
And it has Chester and AJ. You must be the irritating kid I've been feeling in my toes. I hate that stuffy, blocked up feeling. And I hate kids! What do I do now?
Confuse it by humming brass band songs. Or shoot it with your data-eating doom discs. Don't believe that way.
This actually has a couple of things to avoid. First, these very slow moving lasers, but on each health point they do get faster and faster. Until you actually do have to pay attention, so that's at least something there. And now we just shoot the red thing. But while we're waiting to shoot the red things, of course sometimes you have to catch up with it, or wait for it to come round again. Those like lightning things, archers do actually try and hit you. So again, that's something to dodge, and that's at varying like planes within the actual disc. Sometimes on the inside ring, sometimes on the outside ring, and they kind of swap between them every now and then. This is kind of just showing off how those lightning things could be a threat. We'll see a bit more of that later on, but like this boss at least has two things going on, so that's something. And I kind of like the visual of it clearly actually getting more and more damage. It's more interesting than Spatula Woman for certain. The Spatula Woman was completely nothing. And the chase at the end of the first level was even more nothing. The chase was more annoying than anything else. Still a bit too much of the jumping sound effect though. And here's more of the actual lightning now that I accidentally missed that shot. See, it gives us something to dodge and something to do. The later bosses even don't do that. They're really fast, Vicky, are you sure? Doesn't think you've thought that through. I mean, the fox are useless. Kidding, hardtails. I like his planes. Just want to kind of like see him geeking out with Eggman about robots. Just like in a game where they're kind of like on the same side, but like in Chronicles or whatever, just have a little moment where they're just geeking about robots.
Whoa! Cool game, Timmy.
Yeah, can't wait for the sequel. Well, rewind.
Well done, Timmy! You did great! Yeah, and we found more pages of the rules. I feel more magical already.
And we've done with the Vicky virus.
Enough games. Time for chores.
See you later. See you, Timmy.
Well, I could probably use some fresh air anyway.
Let's go again. Let's go again. One more go can't hurt.
Oh hey, that actually kind of flows with the next level. But I'll just do a little thing to show off first though. We've actually unlocked most of the house now, so let's look around it. That's Mini Timmy. That's the level we'll be doing next, because it's the closest one. But Parents' bedroom never opens, but now let's actually go downstairs. We've actually unlocked another 3 levels beyond that one. We've unlocked 4 levels to play with now. We'll be doing those later though, of course, because 1 level of video. So let's go back upstairs and save it, shall we? And finish the video there. So I will see you next time, as we brave Mini Timmy.